Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're good to go. What is going on, everyone? It's your favorite racing, fighting, and role-playing gaming jackal, Goddrifter here, and welcome back to the season 2 of my car extra racing live stream. This is live stream number 2, and as you can see, I am in. As you can see, I redid my Toyota Supra. It's no longer blue. It is now, in fact, rocking the top secret, um, top specs livery that actually looked up for him. So yeah, this is basically full on top secret esque type of deal. So yeah, so the cars for today will be the Mark 5, the Mark 4, um, the BRZ, the FD, and last but certainly not least is going to be the R31. So we're going to start with the Mark 5 because, well, why the heck not? Like, who doesn't want to start off with the Mark 5? Um, so fun fact, I actually sat in a Mark 5 before, and if there's one thing I can say for sure is the fact that figuratively and literally, it feels like you're just it's like you're mm, like, keep in mind that you're basically tall enough to actually get in the car, but it feels like your seat is literally like on the floor. Like, it literally sitting on the floor for some reason, and it smells a bit of German, but and a little bit of Japanese at the same time. But yeah, actually the car looks pretty good. And yeah, I sat in the Mark V Supra, believe it or not. And can actually, and you guys can actually see that Supra on one of my on one of the posts on Instagram. I actually, uh, the thing is, even though I'm active, I don't post anything. So there's that. All right. Oh god, there it is. Hmm. All right. So let me just get the chat up so that way nothing's missed. Okay, so it's only 4 minutes. Uh, so the plans for this week. Um, usually Sunday is usually the first day. So usually it's a Let's Play for Persona 5. Monday is Car X Season 2. Tuesday, I'm thinking of doing Mortal Kombat X again. Um, Wednesday will be the new update for the Crew 2. Thursday is another GTA update. Friday it um is it's usually Yakuza, But then again, who knows? But yeah, Friday is usually Yakuza, and Saturday is Grand Theft Auto 7. So yeah, usually it's kind of like that for the most part. Uh, what the heck? Okay. But don't worry for you, Goddrifter fans. Right after Mortal Kombat X, I do believe that Goddrifter 2 Rage Burst might be back. The reason is because, well, since I finished Goddrifter 3, even though I think there's more to it, but I can't, but I don't know, to be really honest. But yeah, the credits happen and everything, so I think there's more to the story than it seems. But yeah, I think I probably will explore that right after Mortal Kombat X, because you never know. Because I do miss streaming God Eater 3 and God Eater 2 Rage Burst. Um, I think this will be like I think there will be like a special or something, but yeah, other than that, it is gonna be interesting. Um, alright. Wait a minute. I just realized where I was going. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually legit found this on the internet. I was like, okay, neat. I can actually recreate this from. But I do believe I do believe that's not the real model. I do believe it is a Hot Wheels replica of it. Uh, then again, you never know. Alright. Oh, just give me a moment. Just doing a little something, something. Hmm. I think I know what the problem is. I think it's because because usually I'm in spring using Springstone, but that one's so become popular for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I think that might be the reason. Um, so I'm gonna try this again, but this time I'm going to Springstone instead of Red Rock. All right, going to Springstone. Well, let's see how this goes because I gotta think it. It has been a while since I used my iPad mini for anything. I think it's because I have an iPad Pro now that I just realized how freaking outdated my iPad mini is. It's a smoke screen. Alright. It's hot. Hotter than my layer system. Alright. So, yeah, basically, so in the comments down below, let me know if you guys want to see more Goddrifter 2, or you want to just stick to the actual thing until like certain things came out and you guys want me to play said game. Alright. Alright, keep in mind, it's been a while since I drifted with the Mark V, so, skills may be a little bit questionable at best. Alright. Okay, we're getting the hang of it. Alright. Alrighty then. Alright, so the next 15 minutes I'm gonna talk about I think I got two today. I have today's racing cliche, and then I have today's vehicle history. Unfortunately, I do not have a game in a nutshell, But I guess I'll try to do what I could have done before, which is not just one car, but I'm gonna do another car, and then I'm gonna do my first ever, and I mean my first ever car in a nutshell. So Jesus, and yeah, it's basically what's gonna be. So yeah, uh, so yeah, today's racing cliche, today's vehicle history, and then a vehicle in a nutshell. So one of those is gonna be one's gonna be either biased or it's gonna be unbiased, but it just depends on if you're that specific if you're a specific type, specific owner of a vehicle or not. But then again, who knows? All right, so I think I'm gonna switch vehicles right after this lap. Yeah, righty then. Now who's wondering, I am playing this in 720p and 60 frames per second, which is what I'm live streaming at. Um, and I think it's going well so far. So there's that. Oh jeez, I was not meant to do that. Alright, so I'm actually gonna switch from my Mark 5 to the Mark 4. So yeah, basically, so for those that are joining into the live stream, I'm using 5 cars today. The Mark 5 is one of them. So I'm gonna be using the Mark 4, the BRZ, the FD, and the Mark 4. No, 5, Mark 4, Mark 5, Mark 4, um, FD. And the RD1. But like I say, I'm gonna add another vehicle, and it's gonna be the 300ZX. So that way it's not all just Toyota missing one Toyota. So there's that. Anyways, so that was Mark 1. No, Mark 5. Now it's time for the Mark 4. And those are wondering, this is my main type livery that I usually have on the majority of my Toyotas. But yeah, other than that, actually, it's pretty interesting to say the least. So we're gonna go into the room. And nothing. It's like, oh yeah, what are you looking for? It's like, oh yeah, like, I'm looking for this room name called YouTube Live something something. It's like, I wonder we don't have that. It's like, the heck? What the heck is this? Okay. But yeah. My goodness. My goodness. And for those that are wondering, yes, that is a Supra. But yeah, actually it's not that bad drifting wise. The reason I had a little trouble was drifting in the first place was because I was using Adhesion 120s, and now I'm starting to get used. I'm starting to get used to the 100s, and whatnot. So more likely in 4 minutes I will be talking about today's racing cliche, which I've seen a lot of the Codemasters games actually keep using that I actually liked, that actually helps with cash in terms of what kind of stuff they've been doing recently. So yeah, this actually involves any game that Codemaster touches. Dirt 5, they touched it. Grid, they touched it. Grid Autosport, they touched it. They have a whole lot of. They have one thing that, and heck, even Need for Speed actually had dealt with something like this that the Codemasters did. That will be relevant in many years to come in terms of how the grid games actually became popular around time of release. And heck, even the likes, and I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but Juice 2, yeah, Juice 2 actually has done this before, and it is to get the discount in terms of upgrades. Yeah, they actually legit did this in order to get what's that called? In order to get a discount for parts that they actually want to get. So instead of paying you're basically paying originally like 10, 15, 20 to 30 grand on performance parts when actually you can actually spend less than that. It's kind of like that for the most part. It's like, okay, you have like 30 grand and oh, okay, so you have a whole lot of those basically. And my goodness, you have so many sponsors. It's like, yep. And I actually spill the beans. Yep, today's racing cliche. We're going to take a look at the sponsors for said game. And yeah, I might as well just get started early. So yeah, for those who are wondering, what the heck do sponsors do? Well, it's quite simple really. Sponsors are basically the reason why copies actually get how the copies actually get their name from. It's because of how many people actually go through said products that actually want to advertise them so much that it actually hurts. Like for example, let's say for example that you're a team and you end up getting and let's say for example you get sponsored by Work Wheels and then they give you like certain objectives and you end up going with their wheel brand in terms of racing just so they can actually get their name out. So yeah, it's kind of like that for the most part. It's basically the same thing with well, this is actually some good examples. Need to Be Underground 2 actually dealt with the sponsorships for the game, and the thing is, you can only choose one, which is you can choose one for every stage, which in my opinion is probably the most realistic I have ever seen sponsors do, because you can't just be like, oh yeah, we got a sponsor by this team, and then go back to oh wait, I changed my mind, I want to go and do this instead. No, that's not how it works. So So in terms of this is how the sponsor goes. Usually when these Underground 2, the sponsors go like this. You get a certain amount of races plus some underground racing league races, and that's a certain at least you got to be a sub race that you gotta do when you're so you know what brand you want to go with. So yeah, there's that. The second, so another game that dealt with sponsorships is, well, Juiced. Well, the Juiced games, Juiced and Juiced 2. Both games actually, if you have a specific sponsor that you want to go with, then you're basically getting hooked up for the most part. Reason being is because of the sponsor. Well, if you have a sponsored of a brand that you actually want to put some parts with, then yeah, things like that usually happens. Which I could say the same thing with the other with the other vehicle with the other game, Juice 2, which in that case the sponsors usually gives you a discount for which of the brands that you're usually going for. What else is there? And then 2008 is when I had not came when I say this. Grid and, well, I think Dirt as well. Both Grid and Dirt from Codemasters decides, you know what? This is a racing game. We're gonna get racing sponsors, and they're by far the most motivated sponsors they can actually get. Like for example, you had to complete a race without. Let's see. You have to finish the race without having contact with other racers, which means you cannot hit anybody. Period. Or finished third or better in certain races, or what's that called? Or beat this specific rival in this certain race, and you get paid for how much you get. And that's not all. When it comes to like real life being real life sponsored, you actually get parts for said vehicle, and yeah, it's like, oh yeah, basically this car's gonna be in SEMA, so this is gonna show off the new wheels and it's gonna show off the new bike kit. That's gonna be for Pandem. It's like, oh okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's basically like that for the most part. I think another game that I know that has sponsors, but unfortunately it was very irrelevant, was Street Racing Syndicate, where once you get one specific part, you can actually put decals on the car. Unfortunately, it has to be that specific brand, and it's not a mix and match of anything. So yeah, like say for example, you got C West for Nissan Skyline, which in that case you got Motorex, you got C West, you have Velside wheels, so you got Velside, you got Venom Nitrous, so you got Venom, and you got shoot, what's it called? You got Yokohama tires, so you got Yokohamas, and then you got Brembo brakes, so you got Brembos. It's basically kind of like that for the most part. Same goes with the original Juice game, where they actually did the same exact thing. In fact, if you had to go all the way back to 2004, 2003, both Underground 2 had one thing that Need for Speed didn't do, and that is the magazine covers. Now, these magazine covers may be special, but they're based off of real life actual magazines that a lot of show cars would be featured at around the early 2000s. Well, that also includes something like Import Magazine, Import Tune Magazine, what's that called? Shoot, there was another one I remember. Oh yeah, Max Racing magazine, and heck, even the likes of Dub magazine is the reason why we get sponsors this day. In fact, speaking of Dub, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix is actually legit sponsored by Dub, which is the reason why Midnight Club 3 and Midnight Club LA actually has real cars, other than Midnight Club and Midnight Club 2 having fictional cars at the same time. But here's the best part about this. I think they're so big in both games that they have tournaments named after them. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to the Atlanta Dell tournament. Oh yeah, the next racer when a dulled out Cadillac Escalade. It's like, oh sweet, okay, we're gonna get. All right, boys, we're getting ourselves a caddy. That's basically what it is. But yeah, it's kind of like that for the most part. And I actually crashed. Alright, so I'm thinking of actually switching to a different vehicle after this lap. And is it going good? What in the heck? Did he leave or no? Okay, he's good. I'm like, what the heck? I got worried for a second. I was like, oh god, don't tell me he actually rage quit. But yeah, it's very interesting to say the least. And oh god, I'm legit lagging. So for those that are just joining in and they see me lagging for the most part, that's why. Oh god. Hey, it's car's in the C6, okay. C6 vet. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Alright. Oh, okay. But so yeah, in terms of adding sponsors to the racing games, I'm pretty sure it is probably the best thing that any racing game would probably do. If sponsors weren't in any game period, a lot of these brands would go unrecognized, and that is actually kind of true in terms of if you think about it. Like example, there's a brand called ADR, and ADR, or well, basically ADR wheels, is usually I think it's American racing wheel that actually has that is based off of a hint of two companies, one of which was Lone Hearts / Racing Hearts in terms of their mesh-esque type wheel, and the other one, do believe they're based off of Rays. I can't remember, but and then there's another company called Racing Heart, which is is basically lightly based off of Works, and Works actually have their own wheel brand, so there's that. I think same thing with the other brands. So yeah, for the most part, they're very interesting. For those wondering if there's any wheel brand that I actually do miss, two of these actually came to mind. One of which is Koenig, and the other one is Tenzo R. Which for those that wondering, I think Tenzo is either Japanese or Italian. I can't remember, but I do know that Koenig, I do believe, is Swedish. I can't remember. For those that know, comment down below, because you never know. So in terms of pros and cons of actually adding sponsorships to racing games, one of which is the fact that you can actually get these the sponsors you can actually get are actually pretty cool, to be completely honest. But it depends on which brand, of course, because you never know. Because I think that Goddrifter was supposed to get Works. Unfortunately, they didn't get Works, so they have MST wheels. Um, so there's that. But yeah, a lot of companies are pretty chill about you adding their brand to the game, and it's like, oh, okay, that's not that bad as long as it's legit and you figure out how sponsors work. Then yeah, it'll be perfectly fine. Uh, but the cons is the fact that not all companies are cool. They could be very stingy for what it is. So, like for example, when it comes to like Need for Speed 2015 and then the other two Need for Speed games, here's the thing: Raze was actually in the game. Unfortunately, due to the fact that unfortunately for Need for Speed Raze didn't come back for the next two games, which is kind of unfortunate because they have pretty cool wheels. Sorry about that. But yeah, for you future racing game developers that wanted to create their first racing game, be sure to know what brand you want your games to be sponsored by, because you never know what could possibly happen if you actually decide to put a sponsor on the wrong brand. And yeah, that's basically about it. That's his racing cliche. And about 18 minutes, I'm gonna go on to the next topic. Uh, and next topic is literally vehicle history, and then the other 30 minutes, I'm actually going to tell on my first ever, oh god, vehicle in a nutshell, which is one of those stereotypical things that you probably will see in every single car meet or every single time you see one on the road and they do stuff like this. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I meant to actually switch cars again. Oh my god. Uh-oh. What the heck's happening? I think my game is crashing. Oh my god. Guys, I'm having a little trouble here. What the heck's going on? Oh my god, this is getting ridiculous. I'm trying to get out of this freeze framing. Oh my god, it's like 5. It's not 5, it's literally. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, it is tough. Oh my goodness. What in the world is happening? I think I'm stuck on this one. Technical difficulty, yeah. Well, the game is having technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness. My goodness, I can't move without the. About the screen like literally freeze framing every single thing. My God, all I want to do is literally just change my vehicle. Is basically what I wanted to do. Oh, what the heck? Only one person's moving fine. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay, I am trying to pause the game. It's not working. Oh gosh, finally. God, we're not having this moment again. I swear, right? I swear this Supra is cursed. Seen it before. Wow. You never. Oh my goodness. So basically, the 5 frame per second thing is new. This is weird. Or are you talking about the new cars they added recently? Yay. I might have to make another lobby because how I'm not trying to say it's broken per se, but what the heck? Not the five per, not the five per frame sec, the five per frame thing. Yeah. My God. Okay. I'm gonna try to. They work. Oh good God. Okay, it's fixed. I think a player just. I don't know what happened. I think a player joined in and is messing around with the frames per second thing. But yeah, I might need to make another lobby for that one because if that is gonna happen, then I need to make sure that it's not the same person that just joined in. All right, so the next vehicle, I did say that I want to bring in the. Oh my God, lol, that was a little funny. Not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, what the heck is happening? Like over here trying to like drift around and stuff, but unfortunately, I'm stuck dealing with the 5 frames per second thing. Oh my. Ay ay ay. Okay. So I'm in our lobby, so that way it wouldn't. The way we won't have that much issues. Oh my goodness. But if it happens again, I need to make sure that a player's not messing around with the frames per second thing. Because keep in mind that I'm using the 720p at 60 frames per second. That's the reason why the gameplay is a little bit smoother than my usual streams. But if there's one chance to get a 300ZX, I would actually get one right now. Even if it's not, even if it's the non-turbo model, I don't mind it actually. Um, because I already know like the twin turbo models usually are skyrocketing in terms of the pricing. But then again, a lot of people LS or they 2J swapped them, so there's that. Right. Not number 4, freaking fourth gear is meant to be good. galaxies. Oh god. My goodness. Oh god, and I went to the dirt. Okay. That's totally a thing. Wait, no, that actually is a thing. Alright. Okay. So far, no 5 frames per second thing. Yes, I'm guessing a player actually ended up joining, and I think he was running a little bit of an advanced type frame thing. Like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Alright, Carnage, let's get started. And again, I don't know what, and actually, that's a good question. I probably need to check the engine and see what it is. Because it might be one of two things. Well, one of three things. Either it says a VG30, it might be LS swaps, or uniquely SR20 swaps. Because no, I'm dead serious. Someone legit swapped in an SR20 into this vehicle, and the funny thing about it is that if you swap in something that has less cylinders than the original vehicle, and apparently it's lighter than and the car is lighter than the original vehicle, I'm pretty sure it's a good swap. My goodness. Or actually, it could be an RB26 swap. I mean, there are some people that legit does that for the most part. Alrighty then. Alright, so in around 6 minutes, I'll be talking about the next racing cliche, next thing, which will be vehicle history. And when I say vehicle history, we're talking like we're going all the way back to the way that it was from back then to what is recently now. And today we're going all the way to Europe, specifically. We're going to Germany Germany on that one. So yeah. And this vehicle was here ever since the basically the 1960s, and they call this vehicle the car that can never die until 2017 is when they discontinued. So yeah, the car has been around ever since my own grandparents were born. So yeah, it's basically kind of like that. So for those who are wondering, they made rat rods out of these. They made full-on Baja cars out of these, and heck, someone legit drag raced a rustic version of these. And the best part, You can get any type of model as long as it's not the 2002 model. Cause trust me, unless you're desperate for your first car, I will stay the heck out of the 2002 models. And heck, they even made a vehicle to replace it, but then the car comes back a couple of years later. It is that the car just doesn't know how to die. Oh, not again? Okay. Okay. We're good. I hope we're good. Because we can't have another technical difficulties on this one. Yeah. So this is actually a good question. Is it a Mercedes? Nah. Audi? Nah. BMW? Nah. It is. What about Porsche? Porsche. It could be a Porsche. It's just think of this car as a Porsche, but it's not a Porsche. And yeah, I might just put this on early as well. So this car just never died. In fact, if I remember correctly, there weren't any newer models until 2002, and then they discontinued around 2007, and then around 2010. The Beetle came back and around 2017. So yeah, today's vehicle history, I'm gonna tell you guys about the only Volkswagen Beetle. So where do we begin with the Beetle? The Beetle is usually your the Beetle is usually your classic first car that you will get around the 60s, 70s, or even the 1980s. These cars are usually range from Baja Bugs to Rat Rods to Hot Rods even, and heck, even dragsters. These little Beetles usually have one of many configurations. One of which is a full-on coupe, the other one being a convertible, the other one being a converted roof, which you can actually pull down for some reason. I don't know why you do that, unless even after it's freaking raining outside. Yeah, you can actually do many things to the Beetle. This car was the 240s, the 240SX of the 1960s. And what are the most famous colors? Well, red, blue, green, and yellow, which is probably the same reason why a lot of people get one Beetle or one Polo or one Golf and just make a Harlequin style. You know, there aren't legit Harlequin styles. But these Beetles were really, really, really unkillable. Like, we're talking, these cars never die. Because, keep in mind, this is the car from the 60s, okay? The 60s was the prime of muscle cars. Like you might heard the big ones. Novas, GTOs, Chargers, Challengers, Demons, Dusters, the friggin' Marauder, Roadrunners, El Camino, Chevelle, Malibu. You name it, the 60s got it. But it was until the 1970s, oh jeez, Christ, okay. It was until the 1970s where the gas crisis happened, and guess what? The year in Japanese cars is free real estate. So yeah, the Beetle was popular with people because they trying to save gas. A lot of people, when they bought big old muscle cars in the 1970s, usually didn't do so well. Which that also the reason why the gas crisis actually was a thing, is because said vehicles were over there just drinking up gas like it was 1999. Anyways, um, let me see. So about the Beetles, these were flat. These cars usually came with a 1.2 liter flat four, which normally makes around 70, 80 to 90 to even 100 miles, 100 horsepower, and top speed around 76 to 90 miles per hour. And keep in mind, this is full-on highway speeds, so yeah, take that how you will. Anyways, so yeah, basically these cars were so unkillable. Even Volkswagen themselves were thinking, okay, these cars, okay, with the Beetle we created, it's got to go. So what we're gonna do? And it's like, okay, how about this? We built a full-on hatchback, and this will be the first ever hatchback I've ever gotten, and thus the Golf was born. But this isn't about the Golf now, is it? No, this is about the Beetle. Anyway, so the Beetle was discontinued in around the 1970s. Well, yeah, basically around the 1970s. But technically, they were still around in the 80s. But then again, these were the 60s Beetles we're talking about here. So yeah, the Beetle as well as the Golf, along with the Scirocco, the Corrado, and the Jetta, I think, if I remember correctly, was around until this day. But this was until 2002, where a new form of the new classic is released, which for those that wondering, it was the new Beetle. Basically the 2002 new Beetle was that specific car. Now, for those wondering, the car still carries around a flat 4, but the difference between that and the other one is the fact that one of them you can actually get with a VR6. Yeah, a Beetle with a VR6. Now, for those that are confused on what the heck a VR6 is, essentially it's a V6 that is mounted horizontally, and not to mention these, which is the exact same motor. It's actually think of it like this. It's a V6, but it is literally two 3-cylinder engines forged into one, which basically makes it a VR6. And not to mention, they're not symmetrical in every single way, shape, or form. In fact, if I remember correctly, they're both cylinder rings are basically one of each other. So there's that. In fact, you can actually find this VR6 in the Jetta, the Golf, and some weird reason even the Audi TT has one. Excuse me. But yeah, it is really weird that that even Audi's using a Volkswagen motor. But then again, this was around the time where Volkswagen bought off Audi for a large sum of money when it comes to their company. But then again, it's basically how you use it. Anyway, so the new Beetle was not that popular. In fact, this car didn't do so well in terms of sales, and around 2006 2007 the car discontinued. So yeah, we went, I'm not kidding when I say this, we went 3 years without a Beetle. And keep in mind, this was 2007, and 2007 was the biggest, well, one of the two biggest years that car culture was in trouble. And by car culture, I meant basically, but quite simply, around 2006 was the crackdown on street racing, and it was to the point where even a bone stock on the Civic that someone bought secondhand was a target for getting pulled over because of the vehicle descriptions, and it is kind of true. 2007 was the moment where they like, you know what, if we're gonna race, let's take it to the track, and a lot of people went track racing. But the second one that actually has happened the most, the 2008 stock market crash, which is one of the main reasons why the main manufacturers that we saw was discontinued. Hummer, Pontiac, Saturn, Saab, Mercury, what else? Freaking Plymouth, and heck, even and not to mention even the model cars actually got discontinued right after that, and especially their specific models like the M6 with the V10s. Then you got heck even the Beetle, to say the least. Like a lot of these companies were spending so much R&D on Beetles, it was practically hilarious. But unfortunately, that hilarity did actually came to an end when in 2010's new Beetle came out, and it was a lot more angrier. It was a lot more stealthier than its previous counterpart. It looked exactly like the original Beetle from the 1960s. And when it comes to this car specifically, let's just say that the retro styling actually did the vehicle wonders. Like if we're talking about the newer vehicles per se, let's just say it's one of the many, and I mean many cars that came around that time. It's like, okay, that's interesting to say the least. And keep in mind, there's also the time where Aston Martin decides to make the Rapide as well as the 177. Then it's also the same year that the Gallardo ended up getting a Superleggera model as well as a special edition model in 2010. Well, yeah, every single vehicle in 2010 actually has a special edition or two. In fact, this is also the same exact year where both the 370Z and the Nissan GTR was in their second year of production, and they were doing very well. So, yeah, very well. It's mostly in case. Oh God. It's mostly in case a lot of people usually go for the GTR or the Nissan 370Z, and this is actually the moment where the 350Z, and I'm not joking when I say this, full on depreciated, which is the reason why you can actually get 350Zs for, I'm not kidding you not, you can actually get those for cheap. Like, for those wondering, you can actually get 350Zs, specifically the DE, and around not even like 20 grand anymore. You can actually get them 10 to 5 grand. It just depends on how that's the condition of the car. But yeah, in terms of the Beetle, apparently it did so well that it actually got an award for best seller, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. But yeah, basically around the last year of the vehicle, which was 2017, and yeah, everything was going pretty well with everything was going with what's his name? Everything was going well with the newer Beetles. Unfortunately, the Beetle was discontinued, and its replacement was known as, I don't know if the car has a replacement, but either way, the car did pretty well for what it was. So in conclusion, the Beetle was around since 1960s, and it's the car that never died. In fact, the Porsche was originally known as the poor man's Porsche. The reason being is because Porsche actually made the Volkswagen Beetle. That's how the 911 actually got its wedge shape. Because of the Beetle per se. But many people didn't realize is that most people that do not know what the Beetle was or what it used to be was. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to say the least. So, yeah, that is the vehicle history on the Volkswagen Beetle. Or what my memory used to say, but yeah, oh god. Alright, I am going to switch cars, so give me a moment. My god, it's freaking hot. This is so yeah, I'm gonna switch to my BRZ, and before I even switch to my BRZ, what do you guys think of it? Of my Duran ZX, I do believe I will give it a 9 out of 10, but it's because it's based off of the actual like it's not an actual it's not I don't think any Duran ZX actually has said livery, so there's that. Anyways, time for the Tasha uh, Super BRZ. Now, for those who are like, oh snap, he has a he has the BRZ. And then Tasha, let me get my Tasha car. I already know what you guys have. Dirty minded morons. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I was like, what car did I skip? I was like, oh right, I skipped the BRZ. Now, I think in the next, I'd say, I said around the next 18 minutes. Once again, I will be I'm gonna be talking about a new type of thing that I want to go for because I ran out of games to talk about when I played when I was a kid. So yeah, today is gonna be the first ever of many vehicle in a nutshell. Now, these are stereotypical and non-stereotypical. It just depends on if it's true or not. But yeah, it's usually kind of like that for the most part. Oh god, okay. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, not gonna lie, that was pretty good. Oh my god. Don't mind the chassis mounted wing. It's for style points. Oh my goodness. Oh god. Car's okay. Yeah, basically I need to yeah. That was sick, not gonna lie, but I still need some work on the BRZ. Even though it's perfect, it still needs a little bit of settings, a little bit of settings to change. So there's that. All right, time for the next next year I was planning to grab, which is my good old FDRX7, which I actually think it's a little too silent for my taste. There we go. Hi, is this game free? No, unfortunately, it's not free. There are some. See, the game is sometimes on sale, um, but unfortunately, the game is not free. The game will run you at least $40 in US currency, but try to get the game it's when it's on sale, because sometimes the game will go on sale for ridiculous amount of money that you can actually spend. But I think unlike PC, I think I see. Yeah, I think unlike PC, you can actually get get the DLC updates for absolutely free. I think the only thing that's a little bit different between that and between the other cars, the other variants, is the fact that I think the only difference between PC and PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, or Switch is the fact that PC players usually get the update first, then they play out to console. But it actually depends on if you're actually getting the update. It basically depends on. Actually depends on the update, of course. What the heck? No PC. Okay, so yeah, PC. So if you're on PC, then usually get the updates. You actually get the updates first. That's basically how it is. Oh god, I'm on fourth gear. RX-7, yep. It's not the RX 7.3, but the RX 7 is the RX 7. My goodness. Oh god. Sorry about that. Can't tell my signature BRZ anymore. So fast built. It's so fast built competition. Ah, okay. Clar isn't cool. I think. Wait, I think. Are you talking about the Camaro that just passed by? Yeah, that's the Camaro. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. Clar? The heck is a Clar? It's like, oh, wait a minute. It's a Chevrolet Camaro. I think that's what you meant. Oh my goodness. But my goodness. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing about me. I normally don't do competitions. I usually just around actually how I do these days for the most part. Really just for fun. Even though my liveries are considered like, oh yeah, you're basically in competitions. I'm really not. I'm not really in competitions like that. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, my leg is starting to get sore. Oh my goodness. turn drift and torque drift, but people don't know how to drift. Oh my goodness. Not gonna lie, I think it's cause it depends on the platform, because a lot of people that go to torque drift are usually from the mobile game, which you can actually get for free. In terms of torque drift on the PC, uh, even though it is like, like a lot of people usually use wheels for said game. And here's the thing about me, I rarely go to torque drift because of how difficult the challenges are these days. Like, there is like certain challenges you have to do in order to actually get these crates, and I keep on trying to get the crate for my S13 coupe. Unfortunately, it is not going very well. I keep either getting wings, neon, or wheels. It's one of those three. Oh my goodness. And then I think the rest of it is usually irrelevant stuff. Like, I already have a rebuilt RB26 for my S13. Like, it's like, alright, it's done there, done that. But then again, and that rebuilds 2JZ. And I'm like, okay, what the heck's up with the game's not giving me what I wanted. It's like, okay, like, I want this really cool body kit for the car. It's like, oh yeah, here's this really powerful RB26 instead. Which, thank you, but at the same time, I mean, I can work with it, but just don't give me another rebuild engine. Oh yeah, here's a rebuild 2JZ. You already know I'm going with this here. And so, I'm like, I give up. Actually, you know what, I'm just gonna get something for my S14. Since my S14 didn't have, my S14 was my first car ever since I played the first update. And I literally, keep in mind, I usually used to get boxes left and right. Like, I usually get those boxes like it was freaking Christmas of all things. I was like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like that for the most part. Okay, he is on. But tried to drift a truck and did not go well. Is he talking about I think it's called the Beretti 1500 1500 Silverado? Then yeah, if anything, I did not like how that truck drifts. Even though it's very powerful, it has 1200 horsepower, it's heavy as heck, but it's a truck. But the problem with that is the fact that the truck itself is not what I usually go for. Like, if you're talking about like your traditional drift cars, what cars do you usually think of? 240s, 240s, 3 Series, RX-7s, RX-8s, freaking 350Zs, 370Zs, Mustangs, Camaros, any rear-wheel drive car will do. But you don't think trucks when you think about it. I mean, then again, you got the trucks from the 1990s and 2000s where they actually have rear-wheel drive configurations in for said vehicle, and that's usually for like street use. Then again, it is basically what it is. Or I'm actually gonna change vehicle. I think it's gonna be my life. S15, RX-7, GTR Skyline, and S14. Okay, 3 out of the 4 cars will make sense, but a GTR? I'm sorry, unless it's like a GTST or like a GTS or GTT, then it will make sense. But you have to think about it. A GTR is normally the 4-wheel drive Skyline that a lot of people usually go for, in case they want us to full-on drift out some mess out of it. GT? Oh, okay. I was about to say. I was like, wait a minite. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I am going to be switching vehicles this time. And okay, so 5 minutes until I go talk about today's first ever vehicle in a nutshell. Cause who doesn't love one making fun of something that actually existed in the first place? Anyways, time for the R31. I have yet to make a livery for this car, and it's only because the vehicle is. I don't know any vehicle, any R31s that actually have a that has a livery for it, other than just oh yeah, just keep it clean, keep it simple, simple and clean. It's usually how people do this car. But yeah, it's actually not that bad. Especially if it's especially if it's an R31. Try the cargo. I usually actually then again, I already had the cargo, and let's just say it's literally the most American thing that the truck literally screams America. But I will try that in the next live stream, which that will be next Monday. So there's that. Um, oh my goodness, ow. Alright. So yeah, it has been on since I drifted my R31 slash R30 Skyline. The reason I usually call this car the R30 is because I couldn't tell the difference between the R30 and R31 other than the lengths of both cars. And not to mention the R31s usually has like a similar growth to the R30, but I think between those two, the R30 usually is a little bit of a longer base than the R30 than the original R30. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to say the least. And not to mention, I literally love this blue. Like if there's yeah, go for the most, but I won't say it's the best car, but it's a good car for me. Is it the E46 M3? Because that's like okay. If I remember correctly, there is the E21, the E30, the E30, and then there's the 392, and there's the F82. So I'm guessing it's either the E46 or it's the E30. E21. E21? Man, I was okay. I was kind of off, but it's the E series BMW, which is not bad. But man, here's a funny thing though. I never even heard the E21 until I looked it up, man. I was like, oh wait, okay, so this is the first M3 basically, like legit the first BMW M3, and I'm like, okay, so we have the E21, then we got the E30, and the E36, and the E46, and the E92, and then there's the M4, and then there's the other M4, which is the second generation, which was ugly. Anyways, okay, so we're at least 10 seconds away from talking about today's vehicle in a nutshell, and yeah, without further ado, let's talk about it. Civics. You love them, you hate them, you are mid-bite them. But many people know these Civics for one thing only. Rising the absolute mess. I'm just playing with you guys. But yeah, some Hondas. There are two types of people that do Hondas. Well, right at the same time, wrong. You got those Hondas that are very clean, very tastefully built. And heck, even a lot of them full on go tailgate racing and drag racing. On the other hand of the spectrum, you got the guys that go to AutoZone for cheap parts, and yeah, let's just say they slap on these. They slap on eBay parts. They also slap on parts from Wish.com. There's even that moment where you literally thought about it, and it's like, look, and you built in the Civic you actually want to build, and it's like displacement for replacement for displacement, bro. This thing got VTEC, bro. Well, unfortunately, that specific Civic does not have VTEC. The reason why it doesn't have VTEC, well, it's not a dual overhead cam, but a single overhead cam that only makes around 100 horsepower. But it also depends on the owner, of course. And oh yeah, let's talk about one of those owners. These owners usually have a Honda badge going. The Honda goes Brad type tattoos. Yeah, you don't mess around with those type of people. Now, whether you see them on the street or you see them on car shows, usually when it comes to the Hondas and car shows, there are three types. There is the tastefully stanced ones, there is the clean lowered ones, and then there are the wide body track day ones. And friends do not use because when you join the game, you see JDM cars pretty much. This is, but I was gonna say, oh yeah, so yeah, for those are wondering, how do you spot a Civic owner? Well, there's another type. You got those people that just don't do anything to them, and they just keep the car as is, like they just got the car from the dealership. But that's not the ones we're talking about here. We're talking about literally any Civic that actually has those specific mods. Now when it comes to these Civics, you usually see them with RPF 1s, usually a giant turbo, and last but certainly not least, they usually have a bumper delete and a hood delete. Alright, any exhaust is mounted on the hood, so take that how you will. And I don't think that's enough. But yeah, let's go with one more. Nissan. Nissan. Let's go with one more car, one more type of vehicle in a nutshell. Well, it is a Nissan. First name Nissan, last name Z. These type of cars are one of the many cars that annoys the absolute shit out of people. Like, I kid you not, these type of 350Zs usually are the DE models. They're not even HR models. They sound, and the moment you hear they sound like trumpets, you were not kidding when you say, oh my god, these things sound like trumpets. But what can you do, right? Well, here's what a lot of these owners do. And to put it simply, these owners may have a boiler, a magnaflow exhaust, but they did something wrong. They freaking straight piped the absolute out of it, and let's just say the sound went from bad to freaking worse. And by worst, I meant these cars sound like they have a trumpet stuck to the throat. Yeah, I'm not joking when I say that. But yeah, other than that, in terms of the Nissan 350Zs, they're modded tastefully. Like not gonna, I'm like no king. The society guys usually have these cars down in terms of parts, and yeah, these parts are usually, they look really good on almost any single Z that you could possibly think of. But so what I'm trying to go for the 350Z, if you see mismatching parts, and I'm not kidding, if you see mismatching parts, three things could happen. Either they try to sell the car when it's stock, the car has gone to an accident and it has to replace said part, or it's one of those cars that have been in takeovers and decide, oh yeah, you know what, I'm going to sell this car to the next buyer and see how much I can actually get so I can get another 350Z. You might know what. You do know how. You know how wrong that sounded. Now, in terms of these type of vehicles, let's just say that a lot of these 350Zs, yeah, like I said, they're tastefully modded. If you want to look at a good example, look at Top Secret's Nissan 350Z, and then look at COS's 350Z, and then well, look at Liberty Walk's Nissan 350Z. Now, what do they all have in common? Well, it's the fact that the cars, well, I can't say they're not wide-bodied, but these cars are wide-bodied to a certain degree. In fact, for those that are wondering, I saw S13, but the rims were not good. The car color was red and the rims were purple. Oh, Jesus. I think that's my S15 in a nutshell. It was literally red with purple wheels. I actually need to change the color of the car. Yeah, that would change the wheel color. But that's just me. But yeah, for those wondering, okay, what makes the 350Z one of the most annoying cars you can actually hear? Well, specifically, you have to realize that these 350Zs are basically DE modeled 350Zs. They're not the HRs. The HRs are basically out of their league, and they want the next cheapest 350Z, so they go on with the DE, not the HR. And for the most part, the DEs, they're not bad as long as you don't boost them. Like, you can even though, yeah, they can handle boost, but sometimes when you put too much boost, the boost can actually grenade the engine. In fact, a 350Z owner known as Mike actually swapped the LS, basically not just any LS, he swapped in a Texas Speed LS because the Ds keep on blowing up. And yeah, when I start going to go get a genuine car and Chuck slammed, interesting. But yeah, I think that's about it for well, not, I say, I'm almost done. So in terms of the other 350Zs, you got the Amuse Superleggera 350Z, which runs the 380 RS. There's also the fun fact: the 350Zs and Tokyo Drift actually had different body kits, but only two of them are from the same company. One of them is Morimoto's 350Z, and the other one is known as the T-Hair's 350Z. Both of those cars had what most people usually would call a twin turbo. Yeah, basically. Now what was I say? Oh yeah. So basically, here's the thing. Unlike DK's 350Z, which actually has a Veltite kit, Morimoto and the T-Hair's 350Z both had top secret kits. And in my opinion, I'd rather go with a top secret kit than the Veltite kit. But if you're going with like modern kits, I gotta go with either the Muse or Liberty Walk, because both kits actually usually don't use that many parts. But I think the difference being is the fact that the Liberty Walk 350Z usually has what's it called? Yeah, the Liberty Walk 350Z actually has a 370Z front fascia. So very literally you have to basically modify the front end a little bit to fit the front end of the 370Z, and then just put in the and then put the kit into it, and yeah, that's seriously how it will go. But yeah, I guess that's about it for the what's that, RX-7? Uh-oh. I turned my car off by accident. Actually, hold on a moment. Oh, it's a Supra. I'm like, what the heck kind of car is that? But yeah, I think that's about it for like for today's car in a nutshell. This probably gonna be that's gonna be that's probably gonna be the one thing that's usually there for now. Um, but yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight. It is 8:23. I haven't eaten anything yet, so there is that. Anyway, without any further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Want to see you next. Be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified when all new stuff coming to the channel. Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram at Goddrifter Productions. You can follow me on Twitter at G27S. And last but certainly not least, you can check out Earned Over Discord, which is in the description down below at Goddrifter's Garage Museum. Anyway, without any further ado, hope you guys have a dope Monday. This is Goddrifter signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.